We all know that the drug companies are profiting hundreds of millions year over year over year, would presume billions, eventually maybe one day trillions. But the patent piece, I don't understand exactly. So the NIH also shares a patent on these vaccines. And then what would the individual researchers, like the day that Fauci goes to meet his maker, what would be his incentive personally? Like, why is he part of the collective they and Collins and Morenz, all these guys at the NIH, what are they getting out of it?
So that also would be a $64,000 question. They don't disclose that. I come from the private sector. I can incentivize people to do good things, but that's obviously a real conflict of interest and the corruption of the process. Even barring the royalties, the revolving door between the agencies and the pharmaceutical companies, they don't get paid as much as they can get paid in the big business. So right. You got Gottlieb going to Pfizer. You've got, all these former FDA, and they all go into private sector business. Same military industrial complex generals end up going to Lockheed, that type of thing. It's just a complete corruption of the process that we've let them get away with.
So the NIH, what do they have to do with the hundreds of millions? Like I saw a settlement where the NIH went after Moderna and said, hey, we share this vaccine patent. You owe us money. They got hundreds of millions of dollars from Moderna. What are they doing with that money? And then is it true that we don't know what they're doing with that?
Okay. Yeah, but by and large, again, I've only got 5 people to investigate. It's a target-rich environment. So it is very difficult. Again, what's grotesque to think about this is all being driven by a profit motive. Think of the cost to society of the pandemic. Literally trillions. Forget the dollar cost. What about the hundreds of thousands of people died because they didn't get early treatment when they could have had it? Or if Dennis Rancourt is right, the millions that were killed by the vaccine or permanently disabled. So, to think literally that some individuals drove this, make a few $1 billion in profits for their companies or a couple $100 million for themselves in terms of a big payout. It's really sick. It's really evil if that's the motivation when you can consider the harm. But again, why aren't they fessing up to it? Why is this so hard to uncover? It's because the body count is too high.
Wow.
The damages are just unspeakable. Nobody is willing to admit to that.
I personally have done some homework on this over the years, and I do believe that Fauci needs to be in jail. And I'd like for you to jump down my throat and tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong here.
I'd love to see him in an orange jumpsuit. Love to see it.
Sir, you have said that you have been trying for 3 years to get his emails unredacted, and I'm assuming you're still unsuccessful in that endeavor?
Yeah, and notice the House subcommittee on the coronavirus, I'm not sure they even subpoenaed them. I don't think they, we keep asking them, do you have them? Get no response. So, that'll be the first subpoena I'll issue.
The ones that I have read between David Morenz, who I believe was Fauci's right hand, and the gentleman, Peter, I think, Daszak at EcoHealth Alliance, that they gave the grant to create COVID at Wuhan, they go back and forth in these emails talking about how they all work to avoid FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act requests. And it's like, oh, we've got a person here who makes these emails go away and makes the FOIA requests go away. And Tony's got a back channel. Don't worry about Tony Fauci. He'll never get caught in this stuff. And then the guy goes so far to say to Daszak, gives him another grant, I believe in August, for another like $8 or $9 million, and says, whoa, so much money. Is it all for you? And asks for a kickback. And Daszak says he'll give him one. That alone, sir, I cannot understand why. So not only are they asking for kickbacks from government grants to do gain of function research, which is a separate conversation unto itself, but they also get royalties as individuals, and we don't know how much. So I've seen that Senator Rand Paul was trying to get some transparency on, okay, if you worked on this vaccine, you guys get royalties individually, not just the NIH. You personally get paid. How much? We don't know. They don't have to disclose it. And then, oops, I don't want to admit I'm wrong, and we've killed millions of people around the world. We've destroyed lives, ruined businesses. Kids have lost education. And it's for money and ego.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And make sure to let me know what guests you want to see on in the future.